Joy, you have had very fascinating takes on the Bills. Last year, you were amongst others, like myself, who thought they'd win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen win the MVP. We were both wrong. It happens. Are the Bills, though, still among the AFC elite?
Yes, they are. I'm telling you what's happening right now. The Bills have made us liars for a few years in a row, and we're upset with them. You know, when you vouch for somebody and they disappoint you, you take it personally, even though you shouldn't. Because how they treated you is how they treated you. They just didn't act like that was somebody else. Now it's your problem. You got to explain why you put me on with them. Da, da, da. That's all that's happening with the Bills. We have Bills fatigue. That's what's happening. I've picked Josh Allen to win the MVP multiple times. Multiple times I have been wrong. We've picked them to get to the Super Bowl. Multiple times we've been wrong. The Bills, the last 4 seasons, are 47-18. They are the second best in the NFL, only behind the Chiefs. They are one of 2 teams to make the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons, and also one of 2 teams to win 10-plus games in the last 4 seasons. They are absolutely among the AFC elite. I know there are holes that we can poke in this roster. We're a little concerned about Diggs and Allen. Are they ever going to get over the hump? At least they're on the hump to get over. Right. There's teams that we haven't seen anywhere near the playoffs, so we're talking about Super Bowl contenders. We just talked about them in the last block. Yeah. Teams that are coached by a coach that have won 11 games in this league as a head coach. We don't know what this team's going to look like, and we're more confident in the Jets than we are in the Bills. I'm just saying, I understand that the doors are wide open and everyone is jumping off the bandwagon very quickly because it looks like a train that's running off the tracks. Yeah. I'm just going to pause because it feels a bit early to me. I know it seems scary. But if the Bills won the Super Bowl this year, would anyone be surprised?
No. I won't be surprised.
Right.
I would say that they were amongst the AFC elite.
They were.
Like all those stats that Joy read off, I agree with them. All those historical figures, those historical numbers, they are great. And again, like last year, I picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I picked Josh Allen to win MVP. Reason I am saying were is because how we going to define elite, y'all? It's only 16 teams in the AFC. I think the Bengals and the Chiefs are elite. But I think the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Jags, the Chargers, the Ravens, the Browns. I mean, I just named 7. Plus the other 2 we already talking about in the Bengals and the Chiefs. That's 9. Everybody can't be elite. 60% of the AFC can't be elite. Like, we put the Bills in the same category as the Ravens.
So you saying no playoffs for the Bills?
No, what I'm saying is they are in the same hodgepodge to me as the Dolphins.
Not elite, that's good.
They're good.
Solid.
They're good.
Solid.
Last year, when I was picking them to win the Super Bowl, elite.
Yeah.
Last year, I would have said, man, the Bills can beat the Chiefs, man. Remember what happened the year before? Because last year, remember what happened the year before? Yeah. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, 13 seconds.
Yeah.
Last year, I would have said, man, the Bills can beat the Bengals. Y'all remember what happened in the playoffs? Yeah. Bengals. But this year, how can I call them elite? The Bengals been to 2 AFC Championship games consecutively. The Chiefs been to 5 AFC Championship games consecutively. So those 2 teams, in my mind, elite. But I can't continue to put the Bills up there 2-5 when I am watching them regress towards the pack and the pack catch up to them.
Well, you don't have to do that. I'll do it for you.
Do it for me, big dog.
I think when I look at the Bills, they're a really, really good team. And they're in the AFC where it's a deep conference for sure, but they're among the elite. I think we put up there the Chiefs, they're number 1. They're up there, right? Kings. And then I think it goes down to the Bengals and the Bills. They right there.
Fair.
If I told you that the Bills had the number 2 offense last year, and number 2 defense last year. Would you believe that?
I have to. I have no choice.
And
Those are facts.
Those are facts.
So my thing is this, like, okay, one thing about the Bills, they got to be better in the playoffs. But the regular season, they hold that thing down. They hold it down. They've been up there. They beat the Chiefs. They went up there to Arrowhead and beat them. So
That's true.
They can win these games. I just think that they're coached very, very well. I think they have to do a lot better in the playoffs. They have a guy like Josh Allen. You know what teams would do if they get a guy like Josh Allen? That's why you see these type of quarterbacks like Trey Lance get drafted so high. Don't forget, Josh Allen came from Wyoming. I remember when he got that, I said, Josh, man, y'all play football down there? What are y'all doing down there? Y'all pitching over the cows? Like, what y'all doing? Right? And then I watch his tape. I'm like, wow, he's a good player. So they have everything they need. The pass rushers, Hall of Famers with Von Miller. With coaching. They got to do better in the playoffs.
So for me, why is the Chiefs up there?
Won.
You know why they up there.
No, why?
Won a couple Super Bowls, Patrick Mahomes.
But I'm saying as a team, why are they up there? Because of who?
Mahomes.
Okay, the Bengals, why are they up there?
Joe Burrow.
Oh, why'd you say the Browns?
Deshaun.
Ravens, why?
Lamar.
All right, so when you are a top team in the AFC, that means you have a superstar at the quarterback spot.
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
And that is what Buffalo has.
I'm listening.
Right?
Do they?
Since he's came, I argue with you, but I respect Josh Allen, but they have a superstar at the quarterback spot, right?
205.
That's a separate argument.
Yeah, that's
Joey, 205.
205. What's today's date?
205. What's
August 31st. August 31st. Write it down.
Happy birthday,
You acting like
Mariah.
I've been saying, Josh. Sorry,
Make him sign
I'm on Josh.
Make him sign it.
Sign
Make
it.
him sign it. Make him sign it.
Because you said it.
Hold on.
You said it.
I
Sign
signed it because I'm a Josh fan, but you know.
He's a Josh
let's
fan,
argue.
too.
Here we go.
I'm not
Now,
a notary, but I'm a doctor,
Yes.
so
Now listen. Now listen. Right? They have a superstar at the quarterback spot. Now, since Josh Allen has come into the National Football League, he has led the league in turnovers, right? And they still win. Do you understand? They're still up there. They're still the number 2 team, number 3 team, whatever it may be in the AFC. Nothing changes, right? And I think everything that happens in the offseasons with Diggs, with the Buffalo Bills, everything that's been going on, right? We kind of like, ooh, they in trouble. It's cancer's in the locker room, all of that. But the one equalizer to winning, and every team really winning, and why we put those teams up there in the top of the AFC is strictly because of the quarterback. And they quarterback plays at a high level.
My thought, though, Joy, is this. It's like, when you say elite, the reason we put the Bengals and the Chiefs up there is because they have proven to get to a Super Bowl and multiple Super Bowls. And so the reason I'm saying that they are elite, if you will, is because the Bills were elite, but have gotten worse.
Okay, I agree.
Worse where?
First off, at linebacker. We already know they got worse linebacker. They lost Edmonds. Edmonds went to the Bears. At safety, they've gotten older. And so now that both of your safeties are older, I can't say that they're getting
Get
better.
your starting safety back.
You do get Micah Hyde back. Hopefully he plays. He's obviously he had a neck injury. I pray he plays. He's one of the best players. Jordan Poyer has gotten worse. He's gotten older. JP, you my dog. Von Miller, he's starting the season on PUP. We already know he's getting older and has been already old. You lost your defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier. Leslie Frazier, the last 2 years, coordinated the number 1 defense in football, like Joy said, the number 2 defense in football. Offensively, you drafted a first-round pick at tight end, but he can only play max 75% of the snaps. He's not even the best tight end on the roster because you know Dalton Knox go crazy.
Yeah.
And so when I think about the Bills team, they have gotten worse. It may not be exponentially, but to some degree. I think I can make a fair argument for that. Jets got better. I don't need to tell you why and how. The Dolphins got better. Again, I shouldn't need to tell you why and how. Y'all know football at home. The Chargers, obviously, they got better. Plus, Rashawn Slater, he'll be healthy, number 1 pick wide receiver. I don't need to tell you why and how. The Ravens, they got better. Again, I don't need to tell you all why and how. So when I'm thinking about all the competition for the Bills, they have gotten better. The Browns, they've gotten better. Deshaun Watson, obviously. Whereas the Bills didn't get better. So if they were elite, and they've gotten worse. It may just be marginally. I'm not going to sit here and debate that. If they've gotten worse, but all these other teams have gotten exponentially better, I can't call them elite any longer.
However, they've gotten better on paper. We don't know what the Jets are.
the other
We
teams.
don't know. We know what Aaron was last year. If he brings that exact play this year, even with all the talent, and it still looks the exact same, which is entirely possible, how's that going to look? It's an unknown. We know that the Ravens brought in some pieces, but we don't know what they look like.
Correct.
The Bengals lost significant pieces on defense.
Yeah.
Herbert and the Chargers have never won a playoff game. Lamar Jackson is 1-3 in the playoffs, I'm correct?
Yeah, maybe 1 and 4.
Yeah, 1-3. The Dolphins don't know if Tua is going to be able to stay healthy all season. So we can play this marginal, did we get better, did we not? All I know is what the Browns have been for the last few years. The Bills have been for the last few years. And that's excellent. They made it to an AFC Championship game. The Ravens haven't made it to an AFC Championship game. Right. The Jets haven't been in the playoffs in how long? So a lot of this is weighing what teams have done to improve this year, what they look like on paper, and what they've been.
Like you said.
So if I'm going to lean towards, if I'm going to put my faith in anything, again, I walk by sight, right? Like, I know what Josh Allen and the Bills are capable of, and that is making it to an AFC Championship game. And that is being consistent every single year. That is winning the division. We want to talk about owning the East. The Bills own the East. And until somebody comes in there and takes that, I'll believe it when I see it.
And for me, it's, we all know that we can look at somebody's roster and say, we looked at the Jets, we say they might need another receiver. You know what I mean? So we can look at rosters and say they might need this, they might need that, they might need that. Superstar quarterbacks cover up a lot of that stuff.
They do, absolutely.
And that is one of the main reasons why the Bills are, what are they, 48-18, you said?
47-18.
Right? Even with him turning the ball over as much as he does, he covers up a lot of that stuff. That doesn't change. So with that being said, with 17 still being there, they're going to be amongst the elite in the AFC.
It's funny because I ran into Ken Dorsey, the coordinator, right?
OC.
And I was talking about this. How can they be even a better offense? Which they've been very, very good. And I was trying to hint to the turnovers from Josh. You know, that's my guy, so I didn't want to say that. But he kind of picked up what I was saying, and he was like, hey, man, James Cook, running back there,
I
right?
was about to say James Jones was right about the turnover.
No. James Cook showed flashes last year, right? I'm like, oh, he looked pretty good. I didn't know he was going to be this good. I seen him train. I didn't like some of the things I did, but he was solid. He looked good on tape. He said, now, next year, he's going to get the ball even more in the pass game and in the running game. And when you do things like that, it takes the pressure off of Josh Allen have to create.
Correct.
Right.
Damn, we can't run the ball. I gotta make something happen. Turnover, pick, fumble, whatever it may be. You look at Stephon Diggs, right? Phenomenal wide receiver. We got players like that. You got to force them the ball because if you look around that offense, it's not a lot of other options.
Sure.
Dustin Knox is a solid tight end.
Yeah, he's nice.
Great at what he does, but you need more of that.
Yeah,
I think
could be
now if
better.
you have a good tight end, right? 2 tight ends now. They drafted one. Stephon Diggs, and then you go to the backfield with Cooks.
Yep.
Running the ball and catching the ball and all that, it takes pressure off of Josh Allen. So I do think that offense will take some of the turnovers away because they're utilizing the running back a little bit more.
Here's my thought. Joy, you asked a question roughly 10 minutes ago, like, would we be surprised if the Bills went to the Super Bowl? We all said no.
Yeah.
But simultaneously, I also wouldn't be surprised if the Bills lost in the divisional round, if the Bills lost in the wild card round.
Over the last couple years.
And so it's like, when I think about elite, right, NFC elite, I would say Eagles. AFC, you know what I mean? Because, it's hard.
I didn't even hear you, bro. You said it so fast. One more time. One more again.
You're annoying. Annoying.
Wait. You said the Eagles.
Like, if I wouldn't be surprised if a team were to lose in the divisional round or if a team were to lose in the wild card round, to me, that's where I'm like, how can I believe that they're elite if I wouldn't be surprised?
Well, then, I mean, we're
if
just
they were to
arguing
lose?
about elite. Then there's not a lot of elite.
Yes.
It's not. No,
Okay,
it's not.
Correct,
so
yeah.
there's like really 2 teams.
2-3 teams in my mind that are elite. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, so
because
I'll give you the Bengals because they were just in the Super Bowl.
Correct.
And the Chiefs, and then the Eagles. All right, so
Eagles.
then we don't need to talk about anybody else. But if we're talking about teams that are actually competing for Super Bowl contention or in Super Bowl contention in the conversation,
The Niners are elite.
I don't want to argue with her. I don't. We only have 50 seconds, so I got to go to commercial.
I mean, what did you say about the quarterback position?
Yeah, you know, the quarterback, but I'm just saying Niners is built the right way, too, though.
They're a great roster.
I didn't want to see James. See what you
They're
did.
done.
You see what you did. I was trying to avoid doing that.
You brought this up.
I was
trying to
You
avoid-
brought this up. Jordan bring this up.
Relative.
You brought this up.
So let's say, okay, hold on. So
sir.
if the Bills, not the Bills, the Bengals, if they didn't go to an AFC conference game, right, would you be surprised?
I'd be surprised if they lost in the wild card. Yeah, I might be surprised if they were even in it.
I don't know about that.
You know what I mean? Think about it. Whenever Joe Burrow's healthy, big dog, they're AFC Championship games. 2-year sample size.
It's some good teams, though. So if the Chiefs, we all feel like Chiefs are up here, which I do, but if they lost in the AFC Championship game, would you be surprised? Because the AFC is so loaded.
No, but I would be.
No, it's just football. No.
But I said, like, I put it like this: LeSean McCoy, you were an elite running back.
Okay.
I would be surprised if you didn't finish top 5 in rushing whenever a season happened. Sure, Adrian Peterson and Franco. But I would be.
That's light. I'm just saying.
That's my point.
No.
But think about it. How many running backs are there?
It's a team thing, though. It's a team thing. So, like if the Chiefs didn't go, if it was the AFC Championship and they lost, like, I won't be surprised. It's hard as hell.
AFC Championship, I'm with you 1,000%. But that's why I said divisional or wild card.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're elite,
But
and again,
we know
maybe it's
this
semantics.
year, it's
Correct.
yes, we're arguing over elite. I think that the Bills are still a great team. And I think they're still positioned to go to and compete for a Super
agree.
Bowl.
Yes,
And
I
none of us would be surprised if they were there this year. And the reason that I still put them in that category is consistency matters for me. It's easier for me to believe that a team that has just been right there,
Right, so
cooking
close.
every single year, so close, would then take the jump than it is for me to imagine a team that hasn't had any culture, hasn't had anything for the last 10 years to be excited about, to bring in pieces and immediately think that it's going to work.
Where do you factor
Forget what
in-
you're talking about.
Talk to me.
48 and 18, that's elite.
Yeah, 47.
Of course. Like,
That is elite.
But if the question was the Bills the last 3 years, have they been elite? Duh. Second only to the Chiefs.
But why-
That's just not because I am, I guess, forecasting. Joy is right. Right now, we're doing everything on paper. We have no choice. I'm sorry, America.
No
I don't
doubt.
dictate when the NFL starts.
but
I have
why-
no choice but to look on paper
But why
and
does
forecast.
that change, though?
And I will tell-
They're 48 and 18 or 47 and 18, whatever it is, because of 17. So why does that change?
Here's
Down to.
the only, yeah, write that down. The only reason is like, I can tell you, whether you listen to me or not, I cannot dictate.
But you can make
I'm
the
trying
same
to hear
arguments.
you.
But you can make the same arguments to take apart all these teams that we're doing on paper as well.
But for me, it's like this. The Dolphins and the Bills last year were doop, doop. Dolphins beat the Bills beat the Dolphins, playoffs. Bills beat the Dolphins barely without Tua. I believe the Dolphins got better at defensive coordinator. Obviously, Vic Fangio, one of the best defensive coordinators in the game.
I like it.
I believe the Bills got worse at defensive coordinator. Lost Leslie Frazier, one of the best defensive coordinators in the game.
McDermott, though.
No doubt. McDermott's supposed to be calling plays this year. When I look at like how the Bills improved offensively, I'm like, I don't necessarily see it. Defensively,
it's all
I don't
like
see
it's
it.
all relative. If they stayed the same as they were last year.
Great question. So if the Bills stay the same, but I think the
Because
Dolphins,
every other team had losses and additions as well. And some of them will be great and some of them won't matter at all.
Great. So I guess my thesis statement is the Bills net negative. Barely, but they netted negative this offseason. I think the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Chargers, the Jets, the Browns, I think they netted positive. That's really what it comes down to.
Are you taking any of those quarterbacks over Josh Allen?
What you thinking about? Don't think about this.
I would say maybe.
I'm just saying because at the end of the day, that is the equalizer.
Won't argue with you.
And that's why they win.
And you're not taking none of them quarterbacks over Josh, right?
Huh? What you?
You're not taking none of them quarterbacks over Josh, right?
No, I'm not.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.